Palo alphas, betas, schizos. If there is one overlying theme in history, or universal tone in existence, it is that many people are simply doomed to mediocrity, and history lacks the names of billions who never had their own time to shine, and rounds them as a statistic rather than human individuals. Those individuals that do have their own pages in the annals of history represent the extreme of alpha mentality, and you will find it very tough to find beta leaders in history, although there are a few caveats. The only real examples of beta leaders were several emperors of China, most of whom were ran by dickless eunuchs. The lacking abilities of these emperors to rise against their eunuch handlers represents the peak of beta male activity, and is clearly indicative of the emperor's failure to retain and obtain superpowers. This was compounded by the harem factor, when such beta leaders would waste their seed to core prostitutes, merely for their own pleasures, preventing them from obtaining superpowers. Furthermore, considering the several advantages China had before the 19th century, it is a historical tragedy that they had fallen from grace in a mere century of decadence, ending only within the last few decades under a different political system. The same phenomena occurred in the Ottoman Empire, where the sultans were exposed to the life of the harem, losing precious seat and powers, and shared power with the eunuch janissaries, who helped bring about the collapse of their empire. This is in contrast to the endless pages of alpha leaders, particularly in the Western world, who radically changed their systems through alpha mentality. This historical fact represents the true underlying nature between alphas and betas, as it is clear that history clearly favors strong alphas capable of being leaders. Furthermore, this contrast feeds into the following maxim. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men bring about hard times. It is clear that beta males can only exist in good times, and provides context today for the outsized hordes of simps and betas who drive narratives into culture, bringing about the next crisis ever more quickly. Alphas on the other hand transcend their times, and you will find no shortage of great men in even the darkest of hours of humanity. Thus, alphas are destined to be the light in the darkness moving humanity forward, while coon-brained betas worship at the altar of temporary and short-sighted pleasures. Betas fundamentally sacrifice the future for the present, and ensure no growth for themselves, while alphas forego present gratification for nearly infinite gains, many of which line the annals of history. Thus, beta males who strive for eternal fame, and not just fame in the present, are likely doomed to fall to alpha males taking the initiative in our own times. So, why would you ever choose to be a beta male? If you want to choose becoming an alpha male, retain your seed as much as possible and build up superpowers, and learn to culminate flow state and manifest your highest form of yourself through athletic activities. Learn to discover yourself spiritually through meditation and psychedelic-induced ego death. Once you discover and act out your highest self, you will make the world a better place, and perhaps earn your spot in tales of history. Since you have gotten to this point, it is clear you have what it takes to be an alpha if you are not already one, so like and subscribe so you can keep continuing on your journey up.